Okay, here is a video on how I use Camtasia to help out in my classroom. This is a Camtasia video on how to use Camtasia. So your head may have just exploded a little bit, but if not, follow along with what I'm doing, and I think this will help you out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and start it up here. I'm just going to hit my start menu here, and I've got Camtasia Studio 7, and I'm going to let that pop out. I'm going to choose record the screen. You could do record PowerPoint if you're doing PowerPoints. That would also work just fine. But I prefer to do record the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that right there. And you're not going to see anything pop up. And the reason why is because I'm already recording the screen. So it's obviously not going to let me record the screen. But let me show you what it would look like if it did pop up. It would look just like this. Let me get that guy out of the way. And a couple of things you want to check here. You want to make sure this full screen box is clicked on. And then if you've got a webcam and you want your students to also be able to see your face and your screen at the same time, basically your face will kind of be down here in the corner. You could click on that. I'm really ugly, so I choose not to do that. But what I do want to make sure, and you're going to want to make sure, is that you click this little triangle right here. Make sure it says audio on. And you want to click on that, and that's going to allow you to choose your microphone. So here's what it'll look like. If you click on that little triangle, this thing will pop up. And it's got a list of possible microphones hooked up to your computer. I don't know why mine has so many, but I chose this one, and I know that it works because that's the one I want to work. The way you can tell if your microphone is working, so just choose the one you think it is, and then right here in this area right here, you will see how while I'm talking, this little green thing pops up and yellow. You'll see that right there. So I always just click on my microphone and I do a quick little voice check to make sure my voice is recording. Otherwise, you're going to do your whole video and you'll get to the end and realize there's no voice, and you will be very, very disappointed. And then go ahead and press record. And then once you hit record, you will see something pop up that looks like this. It will say press F10 to stop recording, and you'll get a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. F10 is what you're going to press when you're done. It would be the equivalent of popping this up and hit stop. This is not always there. It's normally like that. F10 stops the recording. One thing that's nice to know is to pause your recording. You press F9. F9 is going to pause your recording for you. And that's very helpful. I can't tell you how many times I've had a student walk in, or a phone call, or an announcement or something where I just want to pause it and then get back to my video. So that's what that is. So once you've hit record and that countdown is done, it's recording everything you do, the movement of your mouse, the sound of your voice. If you open something, it records that. Basically whatever is happening on your screen is what is being recorded. And that is very helpful, especially for me. I use this for Photoshop when I teach my students how to do things in Photoshop. If a student is not there, I don't want to have to sit down the next day with every single student that was gone the day before and reteach that to them. So I just make a Camtasia video of what I taught them in Photoshop, and they can watch it on their own time. Not only that, but they can watch them at home if they feel like they would rather learn and play around at home, which works out very, very well. Now, once you're done recording your video, you're going to hit F10, and again, I can't show you what that would do because it will stop my recording, but this is what it will look like. You'll get a box that looks like this, and you're going to go ahead and hit Save and Edit. And when you do that, this little dude right here, come on. Oh, my computer froze up. There we go. This little dude will pop up. It'll ask you where you want to save it, what you want to call it. Make sure you save it as this one right here. And go ahead and just hit save. And what that will do is that will save the file, and then it will launch Camtasia, which I have a shortcut to it right here. But you don't even have to worry about clicking it because it will launch it by itself, even if it's not already open. Now, Camtasia will launch, and the video you just made will already be here. This screen will not be here when you do this. This is only here because I'm actually still recording. So this will not be here. Your media will already be up here in the timeline, and it will be in the media area, and it will be down here in the timeline. So I'm just going to hit close on this. What I need to do is I need to go to File, Import Media, and I'm going to bust open this quick short video. And then I also have to drag this down here, just like that. Again, all of this will already be done when you hit this when you hit that save and edit button. This will all happen automatically. However, this box right here will pop up, and we've got to decide what to do here. This is how big of a do you want your video to be. For me, I like to start with a big video size, knowing I can always make it smaller later. So I always choose the actual recording dimensions, which is that one right there. You may find for what you're doing that doing something smaller works better, and that's totally, totally fine. Your dimensions may be different if you're using a widescreen monitor than mine are. So for me, I like to choose this one. For whatever you're doing, you may want to choose different things. If you're planning on burning this to a DVD, you may want to choose this one right here. So on and so forth. So that's what I do. I choose the recording dimensions, and then I hit OK. And now we have a couple options. I can just hit play and start playing my video, and you won't be able to hear it because the sound is coming through the same headphone/microphone that I'm recording this on. But you can see this little thing is our scrubber, and it moves along the timeline. And where it is where we're at in our movie. And I want to show you a couple things that I do to all of my videos to make things easier for my students. I'm going to back this up. You can see you can click and drag this wherever you like. I'm going to back it up a little bit because right about here, I'm going to let it play for just a second. And I tell them I want them to be in this folder, and then I want them to look at that folder specifically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it, and my scrubber stopped right there on that part of the timeline, on that part of the video. And I'm going to click on Zoom and Pan, which is this dude right here. Click right on it. And what this allows me to do is I'm going to click this Zoom In button. I'm going to scroll it up. And it's going to zoom in my video. So now they can clearly see what folder I want them to use. I definitely want them to use this one. So you can see it put a little diamond right there. And that just lets me know that it put a Zoom and Pan there. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and that zoom and pan is there, and it's going to stay zoomed in until I do it. Okay, now look, I right-clicked, and now I need them to see something over here. So I paused it again, and now my little highlight, my line is right there, and I'm going to change it. And you can see as soon as I change this, it creates a new diamond there. I'm going to click inside and move it down because I want them to see what I'm doing with my right-click. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play again. Now, I'm asking them to hit copy, and my students will frequently hit cut instead of copy, and it's important for me that they choose copy. So I want to make sure they see that I want them to choose copy. So now I'm going to pause it right there, and I'm going to put in a call out. And a call out is these boxes and the arrows and all kinds of different shapes that you can use. And you can see there's quite a few of them. I'm going to go ahead and just click on this one. Let's grab this dude right here. And basically, I'm going to move this over, and I need it rotated the other way, so I'm going to click on this little green circle. I'm going to drag it around, and I want an arrow to point right at copy, just to kind of remind the students, hey, make sure you chose copy. Now, let's look at this for a second right here. This is how long that arrow is going to be on the screen. I don't need it to be there for very long, so I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag it. If I wanted it to be there longer, I would bring it out like this. Now it's going to be there a long, long time. That's not what I need. I want it to be there just for a second. So I'm going to make it, that's as short as it will let me do it. So I'm going to put it right there. And even that's a little bit too long. I don't need it there that long. Let's hit play. You can see my arrow stayed a little bit too long, but unfortunately, that's as long as I can leave it there. So now something just happened right there, and this is why I chose this video, because I made a lot of mistakes as I was recording it. You can see once I told them to hit copy, I told them to go to their own folder and right-click and choose paste. But I did that very fast, and they may not even see that I clicked on paste. Now, my students would probably realize what I did, but I want them to make sure that I saw that I clicked right on paste. So we can do something here. I'm going to come down here to more, and I do this with all of mine as well. Actually, I just started doing it because I just discovered it as I was preparing for this. I'm going to click on cursor effects. And basically, I want the left click, every time I left click, to make that little animation here. Let me switch it back, you can see it again. To put those little rings. And now you can see, if I hit play again, when I click on paste, those little rings will be there. Did you see it? Let me show it to you one more time. And that lets the students know, hey, I clicked on paste, and I wanted you to see that. And now every time I click, those things will come up. And then I just went in and I said, please don't choose cut. So maybe a good call out to put there would be maybe not this arrow, but maybe something like this one right here. And the reason why these arrows are cool is because we can stretch them out, make them any size we want. But more importantly, we can type inside of them. So we could say, don't choose cut. And for some reason, my Camtasia is not letting me click and drag to select my text. And I'm not sure if that's just me or if that's how it always is. So to select all of it, you got to triple click. And that's just how it is. And we could make it bigger. We could make it different color. And we could change the font so that's very obvious. Don't choose cut. And we could even add choose copy or whatever. And again, we can control how long that call out is going to be there by adjusting that slider right there. Okay, so now I need my students to see more of my screen. So I'm going to click back on zoom and pan, and I'm going to zoom back out so they can see my whole screen again. And you can see I've got a new diamond there, so my zoom and pan took effect. And now I can just keep watching again. And right here, I'm telling my students that I want them to click and drag to select all 4 of those photos. But unfortunately, as always, I said it a little too fast because I have a tendency to speak too fast. So I'm going to grab this call out right here, click on it. I'm going to move it down here towards the bottom of my screen. It's a little tilted. I could straighten it out there. And I'm going to go ahead and type right in here. Let's use a little bit smaller font. Click and drag to select your files. And that's a nice little call out there that they can use so they can see what I want them to do. And I'm going to make this nice and big so it fills up the box. And again, I can control how long it's there for. Since they have to read now, I may leave it there a little bit longer so they can have time to look at it and to kind of emphasize what exactly I want them to do. So anytime I want to zoom in or zoom out, I choose zoom and pan. And wherever this line is, that's where it will zoom into. And then wherever I move the line to again, that's when it will zoom back out when I zoom out. Anytime I need to reinforce something to my students, something I said, I use a call out either to point to it or to type them a message. And then I now will always be using these cursor effects. These are here under more, and you can come under cursor effects and it will normally be there. So there you go. That's how I do all of my editing in Camtasia. Now, we need to take this file and turn it into something that our students can watch. Your students will not have Camtasia on their computers. They will just have the ability to watch videos. And we're going to do that by clicking right here on Produce and Share. Or we could go to File, Produce and Share. One or the other. So let's go to Produce and Share. I'm going to click right on that guy. Now, you have to decide now what you're going to do with your videos. Are you going to put them on the web? Are you going to upload them to your blog? Are you going to put them on a CD or a DVD? Do you want a high definition version, an iPad or iPhone or whatnot? What are you going to do with your videos? I like to do mine for web because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up posting them on a website and then linking them to my blog because I don't like the video embedding features on my blog. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to click web. I'm going to click next. I'm going to give this a name. This was called the 4 people assignment, so that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to choose where I want it saved in my drive in the Photoshop assignments. I'm going to leave this checked because I want it to put it into a subfolder. I want to see when it's all done. I want some kind of summary of how everything went. If you want to play yours when you're done, you can check that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And I'm going to get this guy right here, and it's going to work on my video for me. Depending on how long your video is how long it's going to take to render. If your video is just a couple minutes, this will happen very quickly. If your video is much longer, it will happen. It'll take a little more time. Mine was about 7 or 8 minutes, so you can see how mine is doing. I'm going to leave that going while I show you what I do with my videos next. I'm going to go ahead and open up the internet here. And I upload my videos to a website called Vimeo. And I like Vimeo because they do high definition support. They do not put any limits on how many videos you can upload or how many times your video can be watched. I really like a website called screencast.com, but they have limits. You can only do 2 gigabytes of video watching, which I don't know if that makes any sense. But my students watch these videos too much. You can see I've got quite a few videos on here, and I'm actually in the process of moving them all over to Vimeo because they don't have any limits like Screencast does. So I upload all of mine to Vimeo. I'm already signed in. This is totally free website. I'm going to just click on Upload a Video. Choose a video to upload. Let me go in here to just find a video I can upload. And you want to look for the one, there's several files. These files were all created by Camtasia. You want to look for the one that ends in .mp4, or the one that's the biggest file will almost always be the video. So I'm going to click on that one, and I'm going to go ahead and hit open. And I'm going to upload the selected videos. Now, one of the problems with Camtasia, let me show you this first. I'll put the name in for use. You want to be sure to do this because otherwise your videos will be hard to find. Now, I already have one called for use, so I'm going to do for use 1. And you can do a description or tags if you like. That's not really necessary. And then hit Save Changes. One thing that you do need to know about Camtasia is that when it is done, it will take about 30 minutes to get from your upload to before you can watch it. It doesn't take that long to upload. It takes that long for it to upload and then convert and get your file ready for viewing. So if you're like me and sometimes you think you need to make a video right before class starts, Vimeo is not the best place to upload it to because it's going to take 30 or so minutes before it is ready to share, before it's ready to show to your student. Okay, my video is all done uploading. You can see it's still processing, but I want to show you how I put it onto my website. And I'll do it by using the other for use video that I had already uploaded. Whoops, I clicked on that wrong button. Apologize. Let me go back. And this is actually very, very simple. I know you're thinking this is probably going to be the hardest part, but it is actually very easy. I'm going to click on the video itself. I'm going to come up here to the right here up to this corner after it finished loading, and I'm going to hit the share button. And this is going to give me some options here. This is going to give me the option to embed my video into my blog. So I'm going to copy and paste all of this. We'll select it all and choose copy. And then I'm going to jump to my blog. And let's make a new post. And the really, really easy way to put it in is just to click on this HTML button and then just right click and choose paste. And there you go. If I click back on compose, you should see, there you go, there's my video right there. Now the neat thing is, it's kind of shrunk down. Remember I saved that as 1280 by 1024. Well, my Google blogging is trying to squeeze it down to 360 and 640. I could change those and make them bigger if I wanted, but you don't really need to because once I hit publish, I can go and view that. That was the wrong button to press. Let's just go to update. So, view blog. I can view this video here. It'll load up here in just a second. And I can always make it full screen once I start playing it. And my computer's just being kind of slow here. Okay, well my video's not wanting to go full screen, but when it did go full screen, it would still look good because I saved it at that big file size. So that is pretty much how I use mine. Several weeks ago, I did about 4 videos, and what I did was, you could see, let me click here to older posts, was at the end of the week, I just put all 4 videos, even though they were already in there individually. I basically put all 4 videos into, my computer is being ridiculously slow. Here it is. All 4 videos into one post saying, hey, make sure you get these done. If you haven't done these assignments, here they are. And it has saved me a ton of time and become very helpful. Well, there you go. Sorry this video was so long. Hopefully there was some good information in there for you.